everybody and everyone. Did you miss us? All right, we're going right back into it. We're gonna be going over Zodiac Academy Book 5, Cursed Fates.
All right, thanks for joining us on Booktrovert Besties. This is your spoiler warning for Zodiac Academy Book 5, Cursed Fates. We're going to be talking about plot points, character relationships, all the filler that the book had, all the themes, all the lore. We're going to be talking about everything that happened in the first 4 books and our predictions for book 6. So if you haven't read Zodiac Academy, this podcast might not be for you. Go read it and come back.
So have a trigger warning because there are some naughty things going on in this book, and make sure your little ones are not listening. And make sure. Absolutely. Make sure you all are not with little ones if you're going to be listening to this podcast, because we get into the nitty gritty here.
It is R-rated today. Okay. I know every single episode I say I'm going to keep the summary short, but this time I really, really am, because this book was 900 pages, and the amount of filler that was in this book is insane. The amount of stuff that doesn't matter long term. So I'm really just going to go over the themes that mattered and the things that matter that in future books. Cursed Fates left off right where Tori denies the Elysian mate bond between her and Darius, and Lance brings Clara back from the Shadow Realm and she nearly kills him. Seth and Darius are able to revive Lance Orion, and he is saved, but Clara disappears. The first 1/3, really the majority of this book, is about Tori's decision. It is about the fallout. It is about Darius's devastation, Tori's devastation, their heartache, their loneliness, their pining for each other. It is about Darius proving to Tori, even after the fact, that he can be trusted, that he loves her, that he could have been good to her. It is about Tori accepting her own fault in what happened between the two of them. It is about Tori coming to realize that she really messed up and that they could have been happy if it wasn't for this denial of this bond. It is about the reactions of their family and friends. We're talking about the heirs. We're talking about Darcy, Geraldine, Darius's mother, Xavier. They're all stunned that Darius and Tori are now star-crossed. Nobody can believe it. None of the people that love them can accept it. So Lance Orion and the 4 heirs, Darcy, Geraldine, they all sort of make this pact, like, fuck the stars, defy the odds. They're going to try everything in their power to help Darius and Tori overcome this, get a second shot, defy fate, anything they can do to make it better, because both of their friends are devastated, heartbroken, miserable. That is such a huge part of this book. And it ends with basically Darius and Tori admitting that they're in love with each other, Tori admitting that she made a horrible mistake, and that if given the second chance, they would both take it. Clara disappears. She runs right back into Lionel's arms. Lionel and Clara have a guardian bond just like Lance and Darius, so it calls to her, or whatever's left of her. This is not Clara. I don't think there's a piece of her in there. She is Shadow Princess. Their relationship is gross. It is disgusting. And basically, that is the biggest mistake Lance could have ever made, because now he's just brought the Shadow Princess into the real world, and now she's at Lionel's beck and call. And she not only can control the shadows better than anybody else, she can control the nymphs. She can control the shadows and other people. She's extremely powerful. She's an extremely dangerous weapon, and now she literally kisses the ground that Lionel walks on. Big mistake. Never should have brought her back, but they're all dealing with that. Now Lionel's even more powerful. He's even more of a threat. Classes continues. They start battling each other. The girls are just getting stronger and stronger. One of the crazy themes about this book was friendship. Like, it's almost like the heirs have finally stopped bullying the girls. They finally sort of met some sort of common ground, and they're becoming friends. Especially Darius and Darcy, and that was one of my favorites, but we'll talk about that later. Darcy and Orion are in love. They're in love. They're in love. They're in love until the hammer comes down, and we knew it was coming. We knew they were going to get caught. They get caught in spectacular fashion. We're talking about hours and hours of tape of them intimately together, being exposed. Lance gets arrested. Obviously he's fired, gets arrested, and then he's on trial. And Darius gets him the best lawyers. They're going to fight this tooth and nail. They're going to get him off with house arrest or some shortened sentence. During the trial, Lance takes it upon himself. He's worried about Darcy and her reputation. He's worried about her chances at the throne. So rather than let her choose how she wants to approach this, he takes it upon himself, pleads guilty during the trial. Not only does he say that he manipulated her, he forced her into these things, but he also says he dark coerced her with dark magic. So even though she's screaming at the top of her lungs, I love you, I want to be with you, he makes everyone believe that it's all a part of this dark coercion that he pushed onto her to manipulate her. He is sentenced to 25 years at Darkmoor Penitentiary, which is like this dark underground penitentiary where they send the worst fae in the world. He got 10 years for being with a student and 15 years for using dark magic. Even when Darius and Darcy sneak in to visit him, he is like done. He's so closed off. He's so shut down. He says, this is what I'm going to do. He, in his head, he thinks he's making the right choice. I disagree. We'll talk about that later. But he leaves them when they literally need him the most. So he's sentenced 25 years. Him and Darcy are split up, torn apart. Before that happens, they did get a call from the FIB to go and search this house where nymphs were seen. Long story short, the nymphs were looking for something. We find out they were looking for the Imperial Star, which is what Lionel is sending them to look for. It's super important. It will make him undefeatable. If he gains that, he will take the throne. That is the last thing standing between him and taking the Solarian throne. So they all kind of vow we have to find it before Lionel does. And the girls spend their spring break at the Palace of Souls. Big things happen. They end up having breakfast with Gabriel one morning. They're called down to this maze. They go to the center of the maze. There's a big lake. And in the lake, they're given a vision that Gabriel is actually their half-brother, which we've been wondering who was the 5th grade, who was the little boy. It is Gabriel. He was their mother's first son from a previous relationship. But they also see that Lionel was the one who killed their parents. Again, we kind of figured that, but now it is confirmed. They have seen it in this vision. After that, they go through school. The finals come up. They go through their finals, everything. Darcy's just kind of starting to come around. She's really been depressed since everything happened with Orion. Diego comes to Tori one night and he says, I got a vision. Because through his stupid beanie hat, he gets these visions of things that his family are doing. So, like, any memory that they think is important, they put it through this, like, dark web, shadow realm, whatever, and he can see them. So he tells Tori they've captured Darcy. Lionel's got Darcy. So Tori immediately is like, we're going. Me and you, we're going. We'll call everybody else. What had actually happened was that the heirs were playing a little prank, and this was like a friendly prank, not devastating. Darcy leaves her room. They capture her up, take her back to King's Hollow. Prank, let's have a drink, let's have fun, let's call Tori. Tori's already on her way to the Accrue Manor. It is a massive trap set by Lionel, set by Clara for Tori. Diego was manipulated. He was shown a vision that wasn't true just to get her there. Darcy and the heirs immediately drop everything they're doing. They got to go rescue Tori. They go. There's this battle between the heirs and Darcy and Clara where Clara's controlling the shadows within Darcy, causing her to fight against the heirs. Then the nymphs show up, and they're nearly killed by Clara until one of the nymphs fights back. Come to find out, it's Diego. We knew something was going on there. It's confirmed. Diego was a myth. Unfortunately, he dies. I'm trying to save Darcy. Darius went to Tori immediately. Darius and Tori have been fighting Lionel the entire time the others were fighting Clara and the nymphs. They get to Tori, and Lionel forces a guardian bond onto Tori. So now she's fighting this immediate feeling of wanting to protect him that she doesn't understand because she still ultimately hates him, but she literally put her body in front of him when Darius tried to attack him. And when everyone shows up, in order to save Darcy, in order to save Darius, Lionel says, all you have to do is give in to me. So come to the shadows, give in to the shadows, and become mine. And Tori does it, just to save Darcy and Darius. Then at the very end of the book, Lionel takes Tori into some like chamber, and he's sort of like brainwashing her, torturing her, and he says, who do you love? And she's like, they're from somewhere deep inside, I see a girl with blue hair and a boy with a dark soul, and it's Darcy and Darius. And then he like tortures her, gives her immense pain, and then he says, who do you love? And she says, I love you. And that's how book 5 ends. Cursed Fates.
What the hell?
I said that was short because that's all the stuff that mattered. There's so much more that happened, but that was the only thing that's going to matter going forward, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Rating.
I think I gave the last book. I think I was stuck on the 4 for the last couple books. I think I'm going to give this a 4.1 because the last 100 pages or so was pretty decent. Like, it kept my attention. I could have done with maybe 300 less pages, but you know. I think I'm going to give it a 4.1.
Okay, I'm going to go backwards. I have given the last ones, I think I went 4.0 and 4.2 on Shadow Princess. I'm going 3.9. It just had too much filler. I mean, the fact that it took us so long to get through it. Like you said, the last 200 pages or so were good, and it was exciting. But there were all these other moments throughout the book that were supposed to be exciting that I just didn't think were important. I didn't think it mattered, and it was hard to get through. But
very much so. I don't think I've ever taken that long to read a book.
No. And it is a long book. Like, it is almost 900 pages. That is a good-sized book. But it was
Oh, yeah.
just, yeah,
She
it
was
was,
a thicky thick girl, but if it was interesting, I wouldn't mind it.
yeah, no,
But man,
it
that
was
was
hard.
it was hard. It was rough.
But I'm hoping that, like we've said this 100 times, like this was book 5. There's 9 books. We're over the halfway mark. I'm hoping that it just gets better, better, better because all these things have to go somewhere.
Yes, we have to have resolutions for
We
things.
have to have
Right.
something. All
All right.
right, let's get down to it. So, what do you think about? Let's talk about Tori and Darius because they were the biggest part of this whole book.
Okay, so I am upset with Tori because I feel like she was being stubborn in the Shadow Princess. She was being stubborn. She could have. I feel like she knew what she was doing, but she was just being an asshole. And now she knew. Now that she knows the extent of it, now her asshole ways is like, oh, I should have done that. But I realize, I really think that if she had of given in to the stars,
If she had opened herself up at all,
if she would have
she would
just
have been vulnerable
listened,
at all.
right? If she would have just listened to anything he was saying, because he was trying to give her, because
Right.
he's a closed off individual. He's morally gray. So if she had have listened to him and really paid attention to what he was saying, then maybe it would have went a different way. But then we're going to have these books. I guess,
Right.
touche.
I mean,
But
I don't think when she denied the bond, she understood the extreme severity of the consequences. Like, I don't think she, as someone who grew up in the moral realm, understood like exactly what she was doing. But it is aggravating that almost instantly afterwards, she opens herself up to him. It's like if you were willing to do
what was the
that in the
point?
first place, why didn't you? And I do like that, like Darcy and Gabriel came to Tori and were like, it wasn't just Darius. Like Darcy literally
Right.
Darcy's very, I think she sort of rolls with Tori and lets Tori sort of take the wheel. But in this instance, when Tori's talking about everything, Darcy's like, you had sex with him. What do you mean there weren't feelings? Like, what do you mean he wasn't showing you? Like, there was obviously something if you screwed him twice. And not only that, but even Gabriel's like, he tried to tell you a lot of times. Like, he might not
He
have
did.
said the words, I love you and I'm sorry, but he said, I can't stop thinking about you. I want you to be mine. I'll do whatever it takes. Like, he told you in so many words that he was in love with you.
Also, the reason why I say I feel like she knew what he was trying to portray, because he let her see the dynamics of his family. So she
Right.
knew that he was not
What
emotionally available, you know?
what causes him to be the way that he is.
Right.
The
Right.
relationship they
And he
fought.
was trying his best to explain his emotions the best to his abilities, because it was an
Right.
emotional
He's
household.
not used to being loved.
Right. So he
Period.
was trying his best. So
Yeah.
I feel like if she was just being stubborn, because and I get her point why she was being stubborn, because he hurt her.
Right.
I get that. It was hurt and a resentment and all type of stuff with the shit that
Right.
even
But in this book, what was irritating was she was like, I want him to be an asshole. Excuse me.
this bitch. Right. She's bipolar.
When he
Bitch is
said, I'm
bipolar.
going to show Tori how good I could be for her. I'm going to run with her every morning. I'm going to bring her coffee.
That was so sweet.
I'm going to love her from afar. I'm going to message her. I'm going to do whatever I can to show her that I am worthy of her. But then when he's doing all these nice things, she's like, I miss the asshole a little bit. Ma'am, if that's what you wouldn't have been happy with him if he was a golden retriever. So why are you trying to act like that's what you
That's
wanted
what
in
you
the
wanted.
first place? No,
Right.
you didn't. No, you didn't, because you literally taunt his gold in front of him and like, remember when I stole all of your treasure? Didn't that make you mad? Like, and then Darius once again gives her this big ass dragon ruby diamond that's worth millions of dollars.
Right.
And he's like, it looks better on you. What does the man have to do? I don't understand.
I think
Gives her a bike, a super bike.
when she was in the mortal world going through the foster care system, they missed the opportunity to get her checked out. She needed some type of medicine for her bipolar. She is off the
She needs
hook.
to be medicated, and it's fine, Tori.
Yes.
A lot of us do.
Right.
It's
We were
fine.
not judging.
Nope.
But you gotta admit.
Yeah, you're a little cray-cray. But let's talk about what Tori did for Darius, because that was probably one of my favorite moments. So Tori realizes that dark coercion can be defeated by Phoenix Flame. We've already figured that out. They can't be manipulated mentally. They can't be dark coerced. So she takes the dark coercion away from his mother. So his mother had literally been dark coerced by Lionel not to love her children.
It's
Not to show
crazy
them
work.
affection, not to love them, not to be close to them. So she
Nothing.
removes all of that. So instantly Xavier is helped by this because his mother is finally returned to him. She removes the dark coercion for Xavier. She sets Xavier free. She figures out, I'm going to show Xavier in his Pegasus form. I'm going to record it and upload it to Facebook. And once Lionel sees that the world knows he's a Pegasus, he'll be forced to accept it because he can't piss off all of his constituents, all the Pegasus. He can't call him weak or stupid or not worthy.
Right.
So he's going to be forced to accept, and that's exactly what happens. Xavier literally has a coming out party at his house with the press, and he gets to hang out with his brother, and he gets to fly with his mom and his brother in their dragon forms.
So dope.
So beautiful for Xavier. Then Tori takes all the dark coercion out of Darius, and she says it literally almost drains her. There's so much.
Yes.
There's so many walls. There's so much dark coercion built up in Darius that his father's put on him. And then she makes him a bangle bracelet that turns into a tattoo, which puts a piece of her phoenix flame inside of him so that he can never be dark coerced again. Why couldn't you all figure this out? It is so frustrating. Those are my favorite moments, though.
Right. It's almost like talking to teenagers. When you tell a teenager to do something, they got to figure it out on their own, and then it's like, oh, yeah, that's exactly what that is.
But you were right.
Yes, but you were right. Yeah. Mr. Lilac, I love Mr. Lilac. I do.
Yes.
His glittery self. I do. I love that moment of him and his mom flying. That was one of my favorite moments.
And
I
he
absolutely
love
love
it. And
that too. Yes, because he wanted to do it so.
Run with Seth in his wolf form. It is so beautiful.
I know.
I hope good things come for Xavier. I love.
He's ready to go to the academy, honey.
I love that he's getting shredded so that he can try to fight Lionel on his own. I love that he's in love with Sophia.
Lilac is ready to get him some ass, okay? So. He's been working out. He's great. Turn Sophie's ass up.
I hope so.
I'm excited.
That is the one ship I'm most excited for.
I
want to see them together so badly.
I know, me too. And I'm glad she figured it out too.
Oh, yeah. I'm right. It was, and he was afraid she'd be mad. And she's not mad. She's like, I get it. I understand what position you were in. But yeah, this whole book was about Tori and Darius. Let's talk about the heir.
Let's talk about Seth first. I think he's deserved an honorable mention.
I do.
I really do. Because, he's still not my favorite, okay? Because I hold grudges. But
right. Well, he's not my favorite because he was the last one to come around. It took him till book 5 to...
But some of the shit that he's done is just
it's atrocious.
I still got my eyes on you.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a bond between him and a moon bond or a sun bond or Nebula allies.
It's going to be something.
He has taken to Darcy. And he even admits that one of the reasons why he was so horrible to her was because she wouldn't give him the time of day. He was like, I screwed up. And then I realized maybe we could have been something, but he's been there for her. When he sleeps on the edge of her bed because she's sad, so a dog, it was so cute.
And then he tells her, this is what we do in my pack. If one of us is sad, this is what we do.
And then when she finds out about, what's her name? The girl who ends up posting the video or sharing their video. Kylie Major. And she runs to the air tower and she's creating that tornado. And Seth grabs her and hugs her and tells her it's going to be okay and they're going to figure it out. I do think that there's going to be some type of friendship bond between the two of them. And honestly, I was telling you, we'll talk about this because you said we're going to talk about Seth and the heirs. I'm so mad at Lance. I wouldn't be mad if she flaunts Seth in front of him a little bit. I'm so angry with Lance that I feel like he kind of deserves that a little bit. Not that they would ever actually be anything, but maybe if he thinks they are, he deserves that.
I agree because, buddy, what the fuck was you thinking? In my head, I'm they're getting ready to go into a whole full-blown out war, okay? Yeah. You're needed. And you want to go and go, oh no, I'm just going to chill.
This shadow
shit happened.
Back anyways. And you're
because you thinking you're... Right, but the thing is, him of all people, he's been doing the shadow work shit.
Dark magic,
for a long time. So you know that if somebody comes out, they're not going to be themselves. But you're so gung-ho of getting your sister back and thinking it's going to be the same person. And subconsciously, I know you knew that you weren't going to get the same person. Right. So why the hell would you bring this crazy-ass batshit lady back laughing and shit? Why?
And then be some self-sacrificing prick. And then stick yourself underground for 25 years when everyone needs you.
Right, and you ain't got to deal with nothing. You're just sitting there getting your 3 meals a day.
I hate that he took that choice away from Darcy.
I do
because
too.
Not only did he plead guilty, but he made everybody believe that she was crazy. That she had been manipulated and brainwashed, and that no matter what she said,
And they had already thought that she was crazy.
Right.
From the Raven shit.
Right.
They
All
had already, all
the
the that she was talking to the birds. And, yeah.
I'm so mad at Lance. And then I was mad that he made that choice in the split second that he made it. It made me angry. And I felt like he took that choice away from Darcy. He's punishing Darius. Their bond makes it hard for Darius to even concentrate on his schoolwork or anything else because he's so distraught because Lance isn't around him. He screwed everybody over. But what made me the most mad was when Darius sneaks Darcy underground into the penitentiary and he closes himself off and shuts down and is like, I don't want you anymore. I don't want to be around you. Like, I made
He talked bad to her. Yeah, he talks real slick bad to her. And
I'm like, you all made a promise to the stars that you were going to do whatever it took to stay together. And like, he's talking about, you get that last chapter from him in the book where he's talking about how he's got all this bad luck and how the stars are constantly punishing him. Buddy, you deserve it.
You deserve it.
You deserve it.
At this point, you deserve it. And I like you said, I definitely wouldn't be mad at Darcy if she wouldn't found her little boo and recorded and put it on Facebook.
Right. I'm not even saying she has to do it because I do think they're releasing mates. But like, make him think you are.
Make you think, yeah. I'm gonna show you something. You don't? Oh, you sure you don't want me, sir? Oh, okay. Right. Watch this.
I was so mad. Yeah. All right, back to Seth. We got a little bit of Seth and Caleb bond growing in this book. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. Surprised by Caleb. Yeah, don't touch me. Yeah, he's a vampire. Well, I think for Caleb, it's the hunt that like kind of woke him up to it. Yeah. But I mean, we've got Seth admitting, at least to himself, that he has feelings for Caleb. You don't have Caleb admitting that, but you have that moment of them right after Caleb attacks Tori on accident. And Seth is like, feed from me, and he does. But then there's that moment where they're like close and they're nuzzling, and he's like, I don't know what to do. Well, they said before they was having a threesome. Yeah, and the girl left. And the girl left, like. Yeah, and they made out. She leave for her. So there was something there. They're goofing off. And Caleb says, quit flirting with me. And he says, quit smiling when I do. Like, there's obviously something there. I'm not mad about it. Hey, I think that they're gonna be good because they're polar opposites, okay? Right. And opposites attract. Right. In my eyes, I think. I think that. Have you met my husband? But you all work. Poster child for that. Yes, you guys work. Yeah, I think it's cute. I like it. All right. One more thing I want to talk about is before we get off the heirs, is the heirs pulling their strings. They each sort of they all make a pact with Lance. So we got Max, Lance, Caleb, and Seth saying we're going to do whatever it takes to change the fate of the stars. So Caleb does what it takes, honey. He does. Okay. He finds an amplifying chamber. He gets them all loosey-goosey on the drink. And he puts the bangles on their arms, takes them under the lake, hides them as much as he can from the stars. And then he blindfolds Tori. He brings Darius down with him, and he says, I think we'll be able to get away with this. I think that the amplifying chamber distracts the stars. We don't use our magic, and there's an extra person here. It might throw them off. I wasn't mad, and I normally don't to be honest. I don't normally like menage a trois threesomes in books. It's not my thing. I don't know. It's just not my thing. It's crazy. Yeah, that was this good. Was well done. It was good, wasn't it? This was well done. I thought the authors did a very good job. Obviously, while it's a threesome, there was no Darius Caleb action, which I think that would have thrown it off. And it was so Darius and Tori oriented. Caleb was there. He was just a backup singer. Yeah, he was just a backup singer. Yeah. And it was really, Caleb's like, while I enjoyed that, I'll do that whenever y'all want. He did it for Darius and Tori. And I love that. Because I really didn't think he was gonna come through. Because everybody else was doing their little stuff, I'm gonna do this. Max had did something. Now, Seth had did something. It killed Darius. But he got to touch Tori. And he hadn't been able to touch her or be with her or kiss her or do anything without them about to fall or they was going to fall inside the earth. Yeah. Or get electrocuted. Right. Or the stars, anytime these two get close to each other and they're alone, the stars literally cause Armageddon. We're talking earthquakes, thunder, lightning, hurricanes, hail, whatever to get them apart. Yes. So this was the only way that Darius was going to be able to touch Tori, kiss Tori, be with Tori intimately. And while it killed him that Caleb was there.
But what type of friend is that, though? Like, those are some fucking friends. To be like, I'm going to do this for you so you can get your shit
What
wet.
I loved about it was how excited Caleb was before. Like, he kept mentioning, I've got
did.
plans, I know how to do it. Like, I've been thinking a lot about it. I've got it figured
He
out.
really did, though.
Yeah, and then you come to this moment, and you're like, damn, Caleb.
Okay,
You really
high five,
for
buddy.
being hooked
Yeah.
up. Okay.
Yes.
Like, okay.
It was good.
It was good. And then I like Seth's contribution too, because the whole time Seth is like, why don't you serenade her? Why don't you do this? And Darius is like, that's not us. Like, me and Tori are not serenade flowers types people. So Seth spends his time traveling back and forth to the mortal world to figure out what Tori's ex-boyfriend's name was, the one that almost drowned her, finds his identity, finds where he lives. He goes to Darius and the other heirs, and he's like, hey guys, let's go on a field trip. Let's go to the mortal world and kick Tori's ex and beat him up and kill him or whatever. And they go to the mortal realm and they find Zane Baxter or whatever his name is and his whole entire gang. And the four of them just lay waste to them. I mean, kick the shit out of every single one of them.
Belt to ass the whole time. And recorded the shit so that...
From a drone flying above so they could see all of the activity. And
so good.
Darius is slightly using his magic to explode all their bikes.
Yes, and then Caleb is using his speed, not too much, but enough to do
they make him apologize to Tori.
Absolutely.
And they send it, so Darius sends the apology to Tori, and he's like, and at first, Tori being the dumb, she's like, I don't need you to take care of my battles. But secretly, she did like it. She enjoyed the fact that she finally got an apology. She enjoyed the fact that Darius kicked his ass. But then when Seth sends her the aerial footage of them laying waste to the entire gang, and she really liked that. She was that's hotter than watching them beat the shit out of all these low life scums. Seth.
I would like that shit too. Yeah, that was a good one, Seth. That was good.
I also liked that while they were in the mortal realm, they got to go to the girl's apartment and
actually see.
They not only they watched where they grew up, the different foster homes they passed, the high school, and they were like, the girls walked to this school in this neighborhood by themselves. They slowly come to the realization that the girls have had a really hard life. And then they go to their apartment. And there's a sofa bed, and there's one can of beans. They have nothing. And then they find all these files, and it's about all the girls' different homes they've been to, and all the foster parents being like, they're too hard, they're too combative, they fight us on everything. And Darius and the boys are like, that's because they're Fae. It is literally innate in our DNA to fight. And if they would have grown up in Solaria, they would have been praised for it. Mm-hmm. They would have been like, look at our headstrong, look at our combative Fae daughters. But because they were growing up in the mortal realm, they were punished for it. And it's I think that's really when they decide they're done.
They're done fucking with them.
Anymore. We're not bullying them anymore. That was so good.
I think so too, because when they left the apartment, they was like, don't record this. I don't take a picture of this.
Don't even tell them that we came.
Right. Just grab a few of their things and just shut the door. It was almost like it hurt them.
Seth is whimpering. It's really a sad.
It was sad. It was sad because they realized that these girls actually, when they told us that they were struggling, they was really struggling out there.
And they don't know that. They have never experienced anything even. Right. They all grew up in riches. They were all heirs. Yeah. They don't even understand the severity of that. And even Darius, when he remembers burning off all of
Yes, I was about to say that. Yes.
Go ahead.
When he burned the clothes off, it burnt the money, and he didn't understand why she was so upset. But he's thinking in his head now, that's all she had. That was her.
She had a wad of $2,000 in her back pocket that was supposed to save them. That was going to help them. And when he burnt all of her clothes off that first night, it burnt her money. And the realization of what that meant for her.
And what she had to do to get that money, because he realized now that, okay, she was stealing these cars and these motorcycles and stuff to get this money. It was not easy pickings for them. And I appreciated the authors putting that in there, because some people do struggle like that. And some people are wealthy, and the two worlds collide sometimes.
It's hard when you grow up in privilege to understand.
Absolutely.
And, it's all about perspective. It's all, because, my kids we're very, very blessed, but we're not rich by any means. And they have friends that are, and they're like, oh, look at their big house. And I'm like, it's about perspective, buddy, because to other people,
We
look high on the hog. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, damn, we wish we were living like them. It's all about perspective. And Darius, Max, Seth, they had no idea. Living off a can of beans and sleeping together on a sofa bed and stealing
falling apart
for money. Yeah, I mean, and
windows
jumping
busted
from
out,
house to house and never really having a family. Which, now they have a brother.
I know. Round of applause for Gabriel. And I love him. I do.
When he came, so they're on spring break, and it's like their last day. Gabriel shows up, and he walks up to the terrace where they're having breakfast. And he's like, the stars told me to have breakfast with you. Immediately, I'm like, I love this. Then footsteps appear, and he's like, we have to follow them. So the girls are like, do we have to? Because, like, we're having a nice morning. And he's like, no, this is why I'm here. I've been called, whatever. They go to the maze. The footsteps lead them to the maze. And then the footsteps disappear, but they all feel like, we should make a left. We should make a right. The stars are leading them to the center. They get this vision, and the vision was my favorite part of the entire book. The entire book. It gave the vision of their mother. She was part of like some Hunger Games type. Yeah, where it was like so many young people went into this. Her mom was badass. Yeah, like went into this like death trial, and if you survived, you got an arranged marriage with somebody else who survived, so you can make really strong families, connections, whatever. So she's like sleeping one night, and this guy comes to her, and he's like, I'm gonna die tomorrow, but our son is gonna be the greatest seer of his generation. And she's like, our son. And he's like, we are going to spend the night together, and then you're going to have a son, and he is going to be the greatest seer of all time, and he's going to help lead Solaria to peace. So they end up being intimate that night. The next morning, they get attacked. He dies. She makes it through. And she's like a princess in her own country. So, like, she's able to have the baby and raise him. And then she meets Tori and Darcy's dad, Savage King, and they raise the child together. Say he's like a ward or an orphan, and they're taking him in, but they raise him together, and then they have the girls, and they love Gabriel. I mean, Gabriel gets all these visions of his mother and his father, who knew he was going to die, but gave his last seed so that he could become, and then he saw the Savage King, like, playing with him and loving him as his own, and the girls are like, now we have more family. Like, it's always just been the two of us, and now we have a brother. I love it. I wonder if he knew, though, because when he first got introduced, he was like, I know we're going to become really close. I know we're going to become good friends and this and this. I wonder if he knew, or if, I don't know. Because where you been? What you been doing? I don't think he knew they were siblings. I think he knew they were supposed to be important to each other. Like, I think his visions come in, like, bits and pieces. Or like That's So Raven? Yeah, like, or like, this could be something, or this could be something. Because he says all the time, he's like, there's many outcomes. Yeah. But I love, and he's married. He has a little baby. I know. So now they're gonna have a niece. They're aunties. I know. I love it. I loved that moment. Like, Gabriel was crying, the girls were crying, I was crying. I was so happy. Like, I love that. I love Gabriel. I think Gabriel reminds me of Kenny. What do you think? Okay, I can deal with that. I love Kenny. He reminds me of Kenny. Just the vibe. Yeah. I think he's going to be very important. I do too. From this point going forward, I think Gabriel is a pivotal character. Because he can see and help. He's the greatest seer of his generation. And I think that now that this sort of veil has been lifted, I think maybe his visions get even more intense and clear. And you've got the heirs and the girls finally becoming allies, finally becoming together. Then you've got Gabriel, who's going to be very important, and he's going to help. They all finally, it took them too long. It took them way too long, but they all realized Lionel is the biggest threat. Oh, and then the heirs told their parents, too. So the parents is on the lookout. I don't know. I wish they would have elaborated more on the parents' perspective. Like, well, we can't prove it. Yeah, but I feel like you can do something. Y'all can all come together before this man becomes too powerful. That's what I was going to say. Like, afterthoughts, my biggest question is why are we not exposing this? You've got too many influential people at this point. You've got the 4 heirs, Lance Orion before he was imprisoned. You've got the Grusses, which her dad is like big in the government. Yeah. You've got all these people, the Celestial heir's parents. And you've got all these guys. Now you've got Xavier and his mother, Lionel's own wife and son. Yes. There's too many people who know what Lionel's doing. Why can't we tell the world. Tell the world what he's doing and get him arrested. Put him in Dartmoor Penitentiary because that's where he belongs.
No,
Well, really, belongs dead. Right. I agree. But I'm saying, there's too much evidence. Why not expose him at this point? Right. Like, I don't understand.
I don't either. That's why I said I hope the next book explains more with all of the heirs' parents, all of the council, why. If they know, why aren't they doing anything? Let's not let this man get more powerful.
Now their hands are likely going to be tied because Tori is going to be his puppet. Darcy and Darius are not going to do anything to Lionel that's going to hurt Tori.
I don't know if there's a way. I can't remember if there's a way to break the bond. I can't remember.
I think they said that they have looked for ways that there might be, but I don't think they found. They're going to figure it out because there's no way.
I'm telling you now, right now, I think I may have told you this. If they make Lionel and Tori have sex, I'm not reading anymore because that's fucking disgusting.
I don't think.
Well, they made him and Claire while the mom was standing down there underneath them at the dining room table ready to eat with Xavier. Yeah. Just sitting there listening to her
moaning and
get the fuck out of here. And they're the same age, like the same age as your children. What are you thinking? And then come down like there's nothing, and the mom's just sitting there like, that was great. Like, ma'am, the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, now that we know that she was dark coerced, right? But like now, I think she doesn't want Lionel to know the advantage she has, and she wants to stay by Xavier's side.
But I think he's gonna find out anyway because she was in contact with Tori,
right?
And now Tori is with him.
Might expose her.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate that it had to be Tori. Like the one person that hates Lionel the most, and like to have that connection with Darius, and then have that happen with his dad. Like
it's gross.
I hope it doesn't last very long. I don't want to see Tori like
kiss him. I don't want him to even touch her.
I don't want them to be friends. Like I don't want her to be happy around him. Like I don't want any of that. Like
it's just disgusting.
It's disgusting. I hope they figure it out. I will say, on a different note, I really liked Darius and Darcy's relationship.
I do too. And he is really looking out.
Yes, because
out for her.
Yes, because in the last book we got a Tori, Lance, and Ryan friendship with the friendship bracelets and all the different things, and so this time it was Darius and Darcy coming together and him really looking out for her with the whole Lance stuff, and then like when Tori decides to go into the shadows, Darcy's like refusing to leave her, but Darius is like, we have to. She's made this choice. Like I'm not gonna let. You get hurt because she did this for you. Like,
I do too. And I'm glad that because I know that I don't think that Lance is going to stay in jail for the whole 25 years. Oh, I think, I think something's going to come of it. But I'm glad that they both was,
like bonding through
bonding with their other mates. I don't know, like, how sometimes when you are a sibling and you don't like it, I like that they like each other's mates.
They all get along. Well, because in my mind, like I said, in my mind, Tori and Darcy take the throne. Lance and Darius are their king consorts, and then you've got the celestial heirs being their counselors. Like in my brain, that's where we're headed. So like it would make sense for all four of them to be like very close.
Right.
Like that's where I hope this ends. I don't know why it's taking us so long to get there, but
this Kylie Moore bitch. I cannot believe she went through those steps over someone that do not want anything to do with her. I was so appalled. I was so like, ma'am. Who told you this, first of all? Who told you that this girl wanted him?
Right.
And you went so far as to setting up a recording device to record hours of them being intimate with each other.
And then you turned it into your principal. What the hell is wrong with you?
You snitch. They get snitches.
She got what she deserves. She deserves. Basically, the Vegas and the heirs told the entire school that she doesn't exist. You don't talk to her. You don't look at her. You don't sit next to her. She doesn't exist.
And there's only two sides. There's the whores and there's the asses. So and both of them said the same thing. Yes.
They said the same thing. We don't acknowledge her existence. And so she got what she deserves because that's what she craves the most is the
attention. Yeah.
That whole thing was so messed up. And then I felt really bad for Darcy because in court they had to play the video. Like, can you imagine being in court and hearing? She said she didn't have to watch it; only the
but you can hear it.
Only the jury could see it, but you could hear it. And what was made it even worse was that, like, throughout the series, obviously we know Darcy and Lance are deeply in love with each other. But one of their kinks is the whole professor-student kink, right? Like, be a good girl, you're going to be punished. Yes, professor, do. That's just one of their things. And they were playing around, and he was doing that night. He was like, if you don't listen to what I say, you're going to be punished. And she was like, okay, professor. And so when they played this recording, it sounds like he's like, oh, you're going to be punished, and I'm going to, it's like, no, you don't understand.
You don't understand. These are freaks.
The way my face would have melted off my skull, like,
girl, I would have been sick.
I cannot. I
just
felt
even
so
just
bad.
listening to
Darius sit right next to you, knowing he's hearing this, like his best friend and his best friend.
Everybody is hearing it. Like everybody is hearing this, and then
oh my god,
when you're
and we're talking about hours. The prosecutor was like, they were intimate twice, fellatio twice.
They was getting their rocks off to it because how you know everything.
My gosh, it was so humiliating. I felt so bad for Darcy. And then to go through all that, and then Darcy to take the stand and say, no, I love him. I was never manipulated. We think we're Elysian mates. Like, we're drawn to each other. We couldn't deny it.
Here he comes.
And then here he comes to be like, no, I used her to get powerful in Solaria, and I dark coerced her into believing she loved me. And it's like, Lance.
I'm surprised Shane Hall off and smack his ass because
she tried to go after him, but Darius is like, no, let's not do this. Because at that point, even though she stood up and screamed like, he's lying, I love him,
they're gonna believe him because they want to go to jail.
Coerced her.
Yeah,
brainwashed, manipulated.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hated that.
I still do. Like he's gonna have to do some serious makeup for that. If he ever gets out, he's gonna have to do something extremely serious.
And then to deny her to her face in private, like.
After she done turned into Max and everything, and then
in private you could have been like, I did this for you. I love you.
He played the role.
Up inside, I miss you, but I did it for you. But no,
he played the role.
He's mean.
Yes, he is mean.
I don't like it.
And then the bitch, what's the face? The one he was messing with him. Yes, I don't like her. Cause bitch, then nobody asked you for nothing.
I don't like her either because your friend just got 25 years in prison and you come to him and you said, I thought it was going to be me? Bitch, that's what you think he wants to hear?
That's what I said. Like, what made you think to come in here and say anything to me?
Right. Nobody.
Bitch, it wasn't you.
It wasn't you.
It was Blue.
It'll be you. So get over it and know it. Like, if you're really his friend and his nebula ally, weren't you helping him? Because there was never anything exclusive between you all. There was never anything committed between you all. It was just, you were fuck buddies. And so why not be his friend right now when he needs it?
Help him. Because she wants him to herself. That's how females are sometimes. He don't want you.
Right. All right. Let's talk about Mildred, the fiance that gets admitted to Zodiac Academy.
Miss Whiskers, I don't like her. I don't like her. Because she, first of all, for you to come in there like you all that, and you look like the fuck you look like.
She says makes me embarrassed for her.
For her, like
when she's like, Darius was just keeping you or just using you to keep his bed warm. But the minute he has a real woman, he like, ma'am, are you a woman?
That's what I was about to say, man. You a man, ma'am.
You got a full blown mustache.
The way they talk about her mustache, honey, you
right. They said she took a bunch of roids so that she could be big because she's a dragon.
So she's a dragon, yeah.
Yeah, so she wanted to be like big and strong. So we're talking Amazon big ass bitch with a mustache, and like she calls him her snookums, and it's so gross.
And then she be kissing him with that mustache. Ain't no way. There's no way. Bip bop, bip bop.
Well, Tori let her have it though.
She whooped her ass. I was laughing the whole time. Whooped her ass.
Beat her ass.
I loved it.
Oh, good for you, Tori. I mean, I knew Tori could do it. She's feisty.
Oh, girl didn't think she could. She thought because she was big and all dragon that she was going to whoop her ass. What I'm talking about.
She might be the last person to learn, but she's going to learn these girls.
She's going to learn that day.
They're powerful. They're the ones, not you.
I love that for her.
I did too. She deserved it. Like, she came in guns a-blazing and, like, calling Tori a whore all the time. Like, man.
I didn't even know anything about it, but because Lionel said to go in there and make a fuss, she went on and did it. Like, that was crazy to me. made the whores and then made all these stipulations that you can't talk. Like, it was just crazy. It was just absolutely crazy.
I normally don't like the Faye book post, but in this book, they were very funny. Because a lot of them were about Mildred and like
Kylie.
Yes, a lot of them were about Kylie. And like even Marguerite, who's like one of, I think it's like Darius's ex or something.
Yeah.
He's literally like, I wouldn't fuck you again if you were the last Faye in Solaria. Don't talk shit about my mate. Like, he puts her in her place, and like all the ones about Tyler is the Faye book king.
I like him. I like his Faye books.
King. Like, he loves
He's always starting shit.
Talking shit about everybody. Like,
I like his hashtags. Oh,
yeah, man. I didn't like it. I didn't like the Faye book in the first book, because remember I told you it was like Trinity, like too realistic. But it's
grown on you. Yeah, yeah.
All right, so do you have any favorite moments or quotes that we haven't talked about?
We talked about a lot of the things that I like.
Yeah.
I will say that Diego being a nymph. So I was upset with him at first. Like, when I first finished the book, I was upset with him because I felt like he should have told them that he was a nymph. Because ultimately I could have helped him because he had intel on what.
Used him, right.
Right.
But he did come forward to Lance and Darcy in the middle of the book and told them about the visions. Like, I can show you the memories that get uploaded to the shadow web or whatever. Like, I can show you. And he did start working with them. But you're right. Had he been completely transparent about being a nymph, he probably could have helped them.
Yes. But now when I think about it, I'm like, okay, Diego has always been the black sheep. Like, he's always been the one that was not cared for, not recognized. His family fucking sucks. Okay? And so I feel like if he probably felt like had he went to them, it probably would have been another thing to make him more of an outcast. Yes. Outcast, so I understand why he didn't.
I'm glad he didn't turn out to be evil. Like, because I'm not gonna lie. In the beginning of the book, I thought he was bad news. Like, I thought he was working with Lionel. But I thought
he was like that up until he died.
Yeah. I'm also curious about the nymphs a little bit now. Because before then, I kind of viewed them as like mindless creatures. But even as a nymph, he was able to make a decision to protect Darcy against Claire. So I'm like, are these nymphs, do they have like sort of cognitive thoughts? Are they there, or are they just mindless creatures? Like, I don't know. Could they maybe take control of the nymphs? Like, is there a way? I don't know.
So I think they are being controlled by Lionel, but I also wonder if the ones that's being controlled by Lionel, are they in the classes with the students? Are they, like, you know what I'm saying? Because
like, are there more like Diego that are like regular people but are acting? Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. It made me very curious about the nymphs.
That is very interesting. And I wonder if that was just to be like, hey, you all don't know nothing yet. It's more to come. Right. Type shit, you know?
Yeah. I think there's a lot that might come to light that we're going to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Geraldine, I like her. I want her and Max to have Faye babies.
We're team Geraldine for sure.
I'm team her and Max. Max is going to love the shit out of her. I think he is going to be a good boyfriend to her if she gives him a chance.
He's obsessed with her.
He is totally obsessed with her.
And he doesn't
Petunia.
He even told his daddy.
Yes. Right.
He told his daddy, she's the one. Like, Geraldine, that's my girl. Like, I do like that. I hope Geraldine sort of allows it. She did more this book. I think when Max said that he was gonna help Tori and Darius get back together, like, that was when she was like, okay, I like you. Like, you're a good guy. Like,
you're all right with me.
Right, you're all right. Yeah, I can get with it. One of my favorite quotes was when they go to that house with the nymphs. Darius, and afterwards, Darcy and Lance are like kind of cuddled up with each other. Francesca's done left, and Darius says, "You two are, well, fuck the law for saying you can't be together." And Darcy gives him a big hug and says, "Well, fuck the stars too, Darius." Aww. I love that moment. That's what I said. I love their little friendship.
I do too.
I loved it.
Darius
had these great love declarations again.
He's had the biggest glow up.
Yes. When
he is becoming a grown man.
One of the filler things that I didn't think was necessary was when Caleb hunts Tori and throws her off the roof.
I know, that was stupid.
I didn't think that added much because, like, we already know Tori and Caleb are done. We already know Darius is in love with Tori and would do anything for her. We don't need that to happen. But when he saves her and he says, "I'd rather die than live without you," and you could have had that, you dumb bitch.
Right, if you would have just said yes and stopped being an asswipe. But I think Darius had the best glow up. Like Buddy is continuing to go up, whereas some characters go, ooh, he's just going up for me. His maturity level is going up. He's starting to realize that he's gotta get his shit together.
Well, I think in this book specifically, it wasn't just about making Tori fall in love with him as much as it was earning her trust.
Yes.
All the little things that he did to earn her trust and make her believe that he could be
who she needed him to
be, loyal, all those things.
Yes. Also, I think, all the Urs had glow ups for me. All of them really had, like you said, a point to where they was just like, we're done, mess with them. We have a bigger obstacle ahead of us. We all have to come together to beat Lionel's crazy ass.
Him so long because that is obvious to me. Lionel is the enemy for everybody.
And an added bonus is Claire. And now another added bonus is Tori. We got to save her. Like, they have a lot of work to do.
Had they come together previously and had Lance not done that dumb shit, where I think if Lance would have been there, things might have been different. I blame him for a lot of it.
I agree.
I'm like, he might have been able to see the trap set for Tori. If he would have been there with Darius, things might have been different. I blame Lance for a lot of things. And I blame them, and I blame all of them for not coming together sooner and realizing that Lionel is enemy number one. You can't even fight over the throne if he's going to take it, because he's not giving it up to nobody.
No. And he don't want anybody else to have it. He don't want to share it. The whole thing was them sharing.
He's Darius.
He's
his own son.
Yeah, he wanted to fucking kill Xavier too. Like, I don't
allow that to I mean, it's just like, what are we not getting here? And he just keeps getting stronger and stronger. Now that he's got Tori, and Tori's super duper strong, she's super powerful.
It's gonna be a lot. But I also think if Lionel don't get to the mom, I think she's gonna come in clutch too. Because we've never seen her.
We don't know what her power is.
Right. We don't know what she's capable of.
But she has to be powerful or she never would have been mated with or married to him, because he wouldn't have married anybody that wasn't a strong dragon.
Right. So I'm anxious to see if she's going to, now that she's not coerced, if she's going to be able to.
I also think, so let's think back to like Shadow Princess. How many times did Darius say, "I'm not going to let you drown in the shadows. If you go into the shadows, I'll come in and find you. I'm going to drag you out of the shadows." I think that was all foretelling of what is about to happen because Tori's taken by the shadows, and I think
he's going to get his girl.
Go to war.
He's going to get his girl.
He's not going to let them have her. I mean, he must have said that
a lot. He said it a lot.
Yeah, I'm not going to let the shadows have you.
He would stand by her door.
If you're going to drown in them, then so am I.
He would stand by her door at night while she's sleeping to make sure she doesn't drown.
I think that's
a good point.
Yeah. And I'm curious about the Phoenix Fire because it says that Phoenix Fire can fight coercion and stuff. So I don't understand. Like now, when she was attacked, her Phoenix Fire was like dulled because of the gas or whatever the order. But when it comes back, is it going to help her? When it comes back, is it going to help her defeat Lionel?
Because I wonder if she can. But I don't know because she's still bonded to him. So how are we going to break that bond? That's what.
But the bond, I don't think the bond is going to mess her up as much as the shadows are. Because, like, even though Darius and Lance have a bond, they know they shouldn't kiss and hug. Like, they can fight it in a way. You know what I mean? Like, even though the bond is calling them to do those things, they don't give into it.
Right.
Where Clara clearly does. Clara's like, okay, I'll screw you if it makes you happy. So I'm like, I wonder if she'll be able to fight some of that.
I hope so. Because she can't stay with him too long. Because he's one of those spiteful, petty people to where he'll be like, wait till Darius comes. Yes.
For sure. Yes. For sure. The reason he picked Tori was to hurt Darius. Because Darcy's the easier target.
She could have. Absolutely.
Darcy's the easier target. He chose Tori just to hurt Darius.
Yep.
And to keep Darius under his thumb. Because now he knows Darius is not going to do anything that puts Tori at risk.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He had it planned out.
Darius says at one point, He says, I'll do whatever you want. I'll be the son you want me to be. I'll help you take the throne.
Just let her go.
Yeah, just let her go. So he knows he's got Darius right where he wants him. Anytime he wants Darius to do something, he's just going to hold Tori over his head.
They just need to go ahead and chop his head off.
Oh my gosh. All right, what about this Imperial Star?
I'm interested in that because this is the first time that I've heard of that in all 5 of these books.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, right.
So
They're all looking for it. Lionel's got the
Nips
searching for it. He's got Clara searching for it. This is where I think Gabriel might come in handy. Do you think Gabriel might be able to find it? Because
I do.
That's going to say, I think that saves Tori. I think if they can get the Imperial Star, that might save Tori.
I think he will. I think he'll be able to find it. Also, I want to know his wife. I want to know who his wife is.
Yeah.
Gabriel's wife. But, yeah, I think, yeah. That's cool.
We'll see. I hope Lance gets out. I hope the next book. That's going to suck so bad if he's in jail the whole next month.
It's going to piss me off. If they have a whole 700, 800 page book and he's in jail the whole book, it's going to piss me off. Because. And
but you know what I do want? I want to see the moment he realizes that all this shit has happened and he wasn't there to help them. Like, I want him to know Lionel's got Tori. And you know what really makes me happy real quick before is every time Darius punches himself just so that Lance. Every time Darius gets mad or remembers how mad he is at Lance for his decisions, he punches himself as hard as he can in the face. And
right in the
Lance feels it. Because it's fun.
Because he needs it. He needs it.
And I'm like, do you know what happened when you decided you were going to spend the next 25 years in the dark?
This is what we went through. Yeah.
Right. This is what happened to us. Thanks a lot. Like, I want him to feel bad about it.
Stupid ass. Yeah.
I want him to feel bad about it. I want him to be devastated. Because him and Tori have become friends. So, like,
they was besties.
Yeah. So, and Darius. Like, Darius is his person. So knowing that he's putting Darius through all this, like.
Another thing that I liked, I didn't get to say, is I liked when after Tori took away all of Darius's dark coercion, and he finally was able to tell the heirs everything. I think that was a relief to them because you can tell the dynamic switched with them because they was all like, "Oh, he's so standoffish." But once they figured out everything that was going on.
They knew that Darius had been dark coerced.
They didn't know that.
They did not know the extent of it. Like, they didn't know all the things he was keeping trapped inside that he wanted to tell them desperately that he couldn't. Like, and the weight of that on somebody. Yeah. Crazy.
I like that moment.
I hate the stars. They can go screw themselves.
Everybody hates the stars because first of all, only talking about the stars. First of all, why would you do it this soon to two people that can't stand each other right now? That they're trying to find them what?
And here's my thing. If the stars are the rulers of fate, are y'all backing Lionel at this point? Because, like, you got to know he's bad news. So why are you making things harder for them to defeat Lionel? Like, make it easier. They made that decision way too soon for Tori and Darius. They weren't ready for it. They weren't ready for it. And like every time, and it doesn't even have to be sexual. Every time they're together, and like when she removed all the dark coercion, she could barely stand because she was so wiped out. So Darius picked her up, and then fucking earthquake. Like, you can't let them have that one moment.
Nope. Because they was even trying to go back to where they went and. It didn't work out.
The stars were on to him at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's, like I said, I feel like the stars are part of the enemy.
I mean, at this point, for sure.
Because
here's the thing. You give this decision to Tori and Darius who aren't ready for it. Why not give it to Lance and Darcy so that they can prove they're Elysian made so that he doesn't have to end up in the dark or penitentiary?
That would have been the more
obvious choice. They
were ready.
Right. And then they could have proven themselves innocent because this bond cannot be ignored. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a student, teacher, whatever. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You can't ignore the pull of the stars. So then he would have got off and everything would have been fine.
Everything would have been fine. And he would have been out helping them with Lionel's crazy ass. That's why I said the stars are the enemy at this point. Take them all out. Complete darkness. We don't care.
We don't even care. We'll live in the darkness.
Man. Oh, God. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
But this book, like I said, the last 100 pages for me was golden. It was action-packed. We got a lot of information.
Like a novel where I feel like the first 600 pages of this book felt like a soap opera.
It was unnecessary.
Yeah. And that's the problem with these books is that there's so much filler that's why I have a hard time giving it a high rating, because I'm like,
Me too.
when I did my summary, there was like 5 main things that happened in 900 pages.
That's ridiculous.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I like a big book. Like, I'm not scared about that. Like, that doesn't bother me.
But it has to keep my attention.
Book was a little intimidating. But now that I know, like, it could have easily been like probably a 3-book series.
I agree.
And
I agree.
Strung out. And I get, like, you're an author. This is your livelihood. Let's drag it out. Let's make as many books as possible. I just think that there's a lot of filler. I think there's a lot of necessary stuff. I think there's a lot of repetitive stuff.
Yes. We have to find out after everybody's point of view the same exact thing.
Right. And some of the moments I liked. Like, I really liked the moment they go back to the mortal world and beat up Zane Baxter. Was it necessary for the plot? No. But I enjoyed it. But for every moment that I thought was good filler, there was 2 that I was like, we could have lived without this.
Great.
So the next book is a little bit shorter, so I'm hoping that's encouraging. It's like 700 pages instead of 9.
Yeah, it's still long, and the way these authors write, we know that there's going to be a lot of unnecessary shit.
My fear is that next time we do an episode, we're going to be talking about like the same stuff again. Because that's what I feel like we talk about every episode. Is like,
because we talked about the heirs hating the Vega twins for 5 books. Right. Or 4 books.
I mean, that's over. But I think like
4 books though.
Like, we need to get rid of him, and he just keeps coming back and get more strong. I hate it because Darius almost had it. We'll follow up with book 6. I don't even know what the name of it is. Zodiac Academy book 6.
That's as far as we've gotten, because this was a lot to digest, and we've had a lot of stuff going on in this last month.
It has. Life has been lifing.
Life has been lifing.
That happens when you're a mom.
Yes, it took us a while to get through this book, but we are back on track. We are back to it, so we're going to make some TikToks, some Instagrams, some YouTubes.
Yep, come follow us anywhere at Booktrovert Besties, Insta, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. We'll be back at it. We're probably going to do 2 weeks at this point because these books are so long.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. But our TBR is growing. We are excited for when this series is over that our TBR for afterwards is like getting longer and longer. Like,
and we're excited. So we're trying to power through these books because
we're more than halfway.
We are. We've only got 4. We got 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 4 more books left.
And I really think 7, 8, 9 are going to be. I do believe.
I hope so.
I think that it's going to bring everything together. All these relationships, all these plot points, all this information is going to come together in the last couple of books. Book 6, I don't really have high hopes for, but 7, 8, 9, I think.
I hope so. We're going to go full in. Hopefully by the end of May, we can be done with this series. And then get back on to, I don't think we probably won't do a series like this right after.
We have some ideas. When we get closer to being done with Zodiac, we'll post them and maybe get like a poll going, see what we should cover next, because we're trying to power through and we are not doing any more Zodiac things after this. I know there's a prequel.
Please don't ask.
I know there is.
The answer is no.
Series. We don't have it in us.
I wouldn't even care if it was 2 pages long. Don't ask.
I mean, as much as we love Gabriel, I don't even want to read his book. I want to be out of Solaria.
Forever.
All right, if you made it to the end, thank you for listening to us and joining us. Like, follow, listen, Spotify, Amazon, and YouTube. All right.
Bye.